So a question that I get asked quite a lot is, how long does it take for HMRC to accept my tax return? Now, or agree is another word that I get quite a lot. And the shocking answer that, well, it's a shock to most people, is that your tax return's never really agreed by HMRC. Sure, they'll send you a demand and they'll ask for the money that you've told them you owe. And that's because we use a system called self-assessment. So self-assessment is quite a simple thing. You are obligated by law to calculate the amount of tax you owe and notify HMRC and then pay the tax. All of the weight is on you. HMRC will almost never write to you and say, yeah, we agree that. What you might get is a demand asking for the tax you've paid. That cannot be assumed to be a confirmation that they agree your figures. At best, that is evidence that they haven't yet looked at your figures. So the question then becomes, well, how many tax returns do they actually look at? It's not that many, really. HMRC used to, I don't know what the numbers are now, but they used to probably glance at 1 in 10 tax returns. Probably 1 in 10 of them would make it through to an inquiry. What do I mean by that? Well, the system would generate the things that they think are worth someone casting an eye over. Someone at the revenue would cast their eye over, someone at HMRC, sorry, using old speak there. Someone at HMRC will cast their eye over the return. They'll see if there's anything obvious that jumps out. They'll correlate that with other information they've got for you. And most of the time, they just close the file again. It goes back in the pile. Probably 1 in 10 of those that get looked at, though, will generate an inquiry of some kind. And they normally have a year to do that from the date of submission of the return. They can quite often also, though, use discovery assessments to go back any time up to 20 years. Now, I say quite often, not that often at all, really. It'll be probably 1 in 1,000 people ever get a discovery assessment, and probably 1 in 100 ever get an inquiry of any kind. What you will get a lot more often, though, is a letter that says, we think you've missed something off your return. This is what we've got. Do you agree? And I suppose off the top of my head, the things that are often missed here are things that they already know from other sources. So your employer will already have told HMRC if you have a company car or a benefit in kind like healthcare, something like that. It's quite easy to miss that off your return if you can't find the form or you just forget about it. Also, things like bank interest. So, the banks will all be notifying HMRC of anyone